Welcome.
Thank you.
Hello. Hi.
Using the password to him. Once he was in control of that, he would change.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
How are you mending, Pat? How's it going?
Well, I got my stitches out on Wednesday, the worst experience of my life, and I have to wear this for another month, but I'm doing okay. I'm getting there. Can't knit for a while. I tried. They said no.
No.
So I'll just watch.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. We had snow.
What snow?
We had 2 inches of snow and 28 degrees, well, 2 to 5 inches, depending on where you were in the city. And it's supposed to be down to 19 tonight. So will y'all please take all your weather back home?
Pat, where are you at?
South Carolina, Myrtle Beach, little south of Myrtle Beach.
So I'm in New Orleans. And
oh my gosh, you got much more than I did. Oh, wow.
We got so much snow. It's crazy.
It all dumped on you, and then it came to me with a little bit left over. So
it's really super cold up here in Maine. It was in the Portland area. I'm just north of Portland in Yarmouth, and when I got in my car to come to work, it was -5.
Oh wow!
This morning.
Well,
I had -9 at my house.
It was 5. So go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just saying it was -9 in the Hudson Valley.
Oh no!
Oh my gosh, we're not that cold. Fortunately, we were like in the 20s last night. We'll be in the 20s again tonight.
Yes.
But we are not equipped for snow like this. We had to get snow plows from they had to contract with Indiana, I believe it was, just so they could clear the streets for like emergency vehicles, that kind of stuff. Well, this is like totally shut. This has shut us down. From yesterday through the end of the week.
Wow.
Well, the sun came out here and just about dried up the roads and my driveway. So hey,
nice.
Tomorrow I'll be good.
I think if we would have gotten just a little bit, we would have been okay. But because we had so much, there's not enough time for it to melt off. Today, right? So whatever does melt is going to freeze again tonight.
Yes.
And
ice
tomorrow will be yucky. Yeah.
And so probably the kids in the schools in New Orleans right now are just like, this is a dream come true. They've never probably had a snow day in their life, and they might not get another one.
This is true. I've had the best time watching kids in the neighborhood just having so much fun, or videos from other parts of the city in parks, and getting out and walking in it and playing in it. And I was like, I wish I had small kids.
Once in a lifetime. Beautiful.
Yeah.
It was on TV most of today, everybody playing in New Orleans. I just loved it.
It's been fun. I'm ready for it to go now. Walking the dog is
2 days is 20.
Oh no, I'm very sad. My dog and I are usually like pretty solid hikers, and it's just so cold, and she's a doodle, so her paws are pretty cold resistant, I would say, as compared to other dogs. She's got those little pointy feet. But what bothers her is, the little ice balls will form right in the middle of her pad, and then you can't like take it out on the walk because it's like stuck to the hairs between her little paw pad and everything. So so we've been doing shorter walks, but I can tell she's like misses it a little bit. Yeah. Well, it's nice to see
booties.
We tried that, Julie, and she really hated it. Like,
okay.
She was doing the like she couldn't quite figure it out, and then we let her outside, and she zoomed around the house like so much, and she just was like trying her best to like kick.
Oh my gosh!
Oh shoot! Nice try, Iris.
It was a nice try, good effort, but we were just talking about, well, should we try to get those things out again just to see? So we might have to dig around and find them, but Well, welcome to everybody. So nice to see so many of you here on the Zoom for our Dog Star knit along with Cashmere Goats. And I was working on the Friday email today, so I'm going to be giving away, something you probably already know anyway. But next Wednesday, at the same time, our regular Zoom time is going to be our Zoom with Alexa Ludeman, who is one of the design team at Tin Can Knits. And so she's going to join us in the email that will come out to you on Friday. There's going to be a little space. If you have, some people get so shy about asking questions on Zoom. We're going to use the chat function for that, but I included a little link to a questionnaire. If you'd like to pop a question for her through the questionnaire just beforehand, I will check in with that. But I think it's going to be really fun. She's pretty excited. She's great. I've seen a lot of other online events with her and stuff, and she just seems really easy to chat with and very generous with her knowledge and time. So I'm excited for that. And we'll record it, of course, too. So if you can't make it live, the recording will be there. Well, I have to ask about Priscilla, because you've got that beautiful red sweater, which you posted a picture of in the Facebook, but then you were like, the yarn isn't my favorite, but it's so cute, the red. Oh, and you're muted.
How do I do that?
No, there, you're good. You're good. You're good. Yep.
I
can hear you. We can hear you.
You can hear me.
Yep.
Oh, can you see me?
Yep, we can.
Oh, that's scary. So I joined the sleeves. That was a little tricky for me, but I think I got it.
Great.
So,
oh my gosh. The red and white is so charming.
I love it.
That's cute.
That's great.
Yeah, I'm making it for my granddaughter, and I thought I'd give it to her for Valentine's Day.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about this yarn though, but it's something I had in my stash, so I figured, I'm trying to use down my stash as much as possible, but so I figured I'd do it. It's an acrylic, which will be good, for a kid. So
yep, easy care. Well, that's beautiful. Thanks for showing it to us.
Thank you.
Some more. Hold it up.
Yeah, hold it up one more time so we can take in that color work on the sleeve.
I'm really
at
enjoying the tracking on Priscilla's camera, the zooming. Like she has a
right? Like how is Priscilla's camera being so smart about this?
Oh, look at that.
Wow.
Yeah, wow, I'm impressed.
Oh my gosh, that was really like pretty immersive. Is that part of like the Zoom AI companion, perhaps? I don't know.
Priscilla has a secret team behind
I've
her.
been sitting in the background.
Yeah, you're just live filming with your film team over there. Oh, excellent. Well, anybody else have a little update? I've got a couple new faces on here. Dayle, hi Dayle, were you with us before? I'm not remembering.
Yeah, I was here. I wasn't here last week, but I was here the week before.
Great. How's it going for you?
My sweater's going to take a while because I'm making it for my husband. I'm working on the body right now.
Yeah, great.
But he's very tall and he's got long arms, so I think I had to knit the arms an extra 1.5 inches.
Oh, wow.
From what it called on, when it, I think I'm doing a large for him. So it's going to take me longer than, until the end of February. I usually get one sweater a year.
Well, and just so you are reassured, a lot of us are in the same boat, and you'll definitely, you'll be in good company. And I think we'll probably do another finish along this coming summer. And that's the perfect time to keep on trucking with some of those projects that didn't quite get finished.
Let's see yours. You just laid it down. What's that you were just handling?
Wait,
yours. Iris, yes.
Oh, it's just mine. Let me
Oh, it's
spotlight
looking
myself.
pretty. Oh, it's
this is
Yeah.
pretty.
so
Hold on.
good.
Okay.
Oh, I love it.
Wow, look at that.
That's
That
good.
looks so good.
I'm feeling like I've got, still a number of inches in front of me, but on the body, but I'm just still really loving this yarn and got my short rows in the back.
What is the yarn? What yarn did you use?
Yep, it's the Catmandu
Catmandu.
DK.
Oh, that's great
Mhm.
yarn. Oh, yes, I
Yep.
love that yarn.
So nice and nubbly and enjoyable. So it's coming, and it's actually awesome for me to be at such a boring part of the sweater when we're having like meetups and stuff, because it's so easy. I can just put it down anytime, help folks in the shop when we're in person, and so yeah, I'm enjoying it.
How
But,
long are you
that's-
going to make it? Is it going to be a crop or are you going a little longer?
I tend to like my sweaters to land sort of mid to higher hip for me,
Yeah,
seems
right at
good.
the top of your hip.
Yeah, so I'm gonna the one that I made, the Irish Rover pullover, that gray one with all the texture, that I feel like is my perfect length. So I'm gonna measure that one as I get a little closer and see what I think. But
You're getting pretty close.
yeah, getting there soon. So
Next
it's
week, you'll be done.
maybe.
You have to make another one.
There she goes.
Well-
Start another one. There you go, Judy.
Well, Judy, I have a sweater on the needles for one of my sons. Speaking of, larger size adult men. So, it's a Tin Can Knits pattern. It's the flax sweater.
Oh, yeah.
And that has a really nice little simple, it's a top down raglan, nice little detailing along the side. I don't have it up here with me, but it's garter stitch along the outside of sort of the sleeve, which is a really sweet little detail. But when we were browsing Ravelry, I came across one that I really thought would appeal to him, and somebody had the clever thought to do a little broken rib in that panel, and it really looks cool because it almost gives a little waffle effect. So I might just go right into that one and try to make some progress and headway with that after my Dog Star. Anybody else have a little update for us? A question? Susan, looks like you've got your yarn.
I finished one.
Oh, Zina, you
let's
finished
see.
one. Okay, let me spotlight.
Ooh.
Oh,
nice.
Oh, that's pretty.
Oh,
Yeah,
beautiful.
At first I thought I'm gonna go with dark color, but then I got this color. It's like, oh, it's gonna be looking
Oh,
really
it's
nice
gorgeous.
for child sweater.
Oh,
It
so
just feels
sweet.
so classic, so wintry, like a snowflake.
Yeah,
Very pretty.
Oh, that's
Very pretty.
very pretty.
So this is for older, and for younger, I decided to go with darker blue and lighter blue.
Oh, that's pretty too.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So sweet.
I'm almost there.
Awesome. I
Yeah.
love it.
It's
Love
really enjoyable knitting. So,
You're making fast work of it.
Yes, you
well,
are.
it's a baby sweater.
Well, it's so satisfying. And you'll see in the email too, one of our local goats just finished. She's making a baby size, and oh my gosh, so darling. And she just cast right on for the next one. She was like, I just love this color work. And it's pretty fun.
Yeah. And yeah, I thought she will have a hat with this color work, but should make myself use this color work for the hat.
Hmm.
Would you use the
Nice.
same pattern, the same motif pattern on the hat? A
Yeah,
little piece of it?
Mm-hmm.
Clever.
Yeah,
Very cool.
that will be nice, I think, like a set.
Nice. And where do your grandchildren live?
They live here in New Jersey.
Okay. So you get to see them, and you'll get to see them in their beautiful sweaters.
In the beautiful sweaters, yes.
very nice.
Thank you. Oh, if you want, so when I finished first sweater, I found it a little even so, I pulled when I joined the sleeve with the body, but it still kind of has a loose in between. So on the second sweater, when I joined sleeve with the body, I did two together, one from the sleeve, another from the body. So I knit them two together on the join, and then immediately made one, not to lose the count of the
Okay.
stitches. And it looks like it's gonna be much better when I sew it together.
Nice.
Just the advice from
I
experience.
Good
I
advice.
love it.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Great advice. Because sometimes I've also heard, yeah, folks who will cast on or pick up an extra stitch, but I think that your method of the add the body and the sleeve, knit those together, but then make one immediately is also a really great idea. Thank you.
Yeah.
Love the tips.
It's those tips for the finishing that are so important, I think, for whatever you're making to make it look professional, well thought out. So those are great tips.
Those are all things that a lot of patterns don't have in them.
Right. They don't give you that. That's exactly right, Teresa.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's like, just do this. Okay.
You know what pattern was a lot like that was the car bath. I felt like it was definitely not a hand-holdy type of a pattern. You were not going to be getting tips and tricks from Kate. She was assuming that you had your own body of knowledge.
But good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Lots of good sweaters came out of that.
Yeah. Sometimes just having to dive in also makes you have to figure it out too. So, and then you learn from that as well.
Agreed.
Well, I'll share. I can share.
Yeah, great, Teresa C. Nice to see you.
You. So I have to put on my little oopsie upside down. My little we raised them. So
do you?
We did. We had like 4 of them for a while.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah. So I got my
Oh, I like that.
Ooh, I like that color green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very pretty.
Very nice.
It was funny.
Oh,
I wasn't sure how I was going to do it because when I first started it, the green and the 2 greens were too close together, and I was like, I have to make it pop. So
Smart.
Really stunning.
What are all the stitch markers for?
Those are so I know where my increases are.
Oh, okay.
So I use the
so you can count them?
Yep. So then I know I did my 12, which is what I pattern.
Yeah,
and I have my row counter that helps me know that I'm doing my rows so that I can do my increase. So
gotcha.
That's
nice.
Right here.
It's gorgeous. I love that you use those 2 greens together and the white. It's just so good.
I love that green. Is that what's the yarn?
This is the fleece. This is
yes. Great. I love that fleece.
Oh my God, it looks so good.
Oh, that's fabulous yarn. Fabulous yarn.
And all of it that. So even the
a little bit. Oh, wow.
Yeah, the natural, and then is it
the fell side, which is that gorgeous golden green.
Yeah.
How much color is in that color?
Yeah. Well, that's going to be stunning.
It'll be interesting to see when we get to all the stuff on the top. I'm not sure what to do with that. So that's
repeat what you did there.
Well, I will
sparklies.
Yeah, I will.
White.
Yeah, I'll do that for part of it, but then there's other parts of the pattern. I'm not sure where the it's all good. It's all good.
Beautiful.
Well, and in one of the early emails, I gave a link to the Ravelry bundle that I created with a bunch of especially because this sweater had all this child-sized pictures, I wanted people to really be. So there's some really neat ways that people have used their multiple colors.
Yeah.
You can maybe get some inspo from.
Yeah. That was nice of you to gather those together too, because It was difficult to find them on their own in Ravelry. You'd already gathered them. Wonderful.
I spent a lot of time
I'll
just
bet you
picking
did.
away, and also, you know, I paid attention too to some of the notes because I felt like, I don't know, in a couple cases there was somebody that was like not as satisfied because she'd used a super wash and that's gotten really sloppy. But anyway, a lot to be learned from those ravelers. I love trying to get everybody's opinions about a pattern.
Agreed.
Anybody else have an update for us? Hi, Mary Ellen. Nice to see you.
Hi. This is just something that I'm doing that I haven't done before. It said to use this, I'm doing a size 1 to 2, a child's. And I joined and I have the first row of color work as far as I've gotten. But they said to use a size 16-inch needle, and there's just no way I can do that. So I have done this whole thing on magic loop.
Yeah, great.
And I didn't have any trouble with it. I mean, I just pull a loop out when I need to.
Right.
And it's great.
Awesome. Can you hold it up for us so we can see?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Getting there.
Yeah, so darling.
I love those that have used the white as the accent on the darker field. It's pretty.
Yeah. Gorgeous. Yeah, magic loop, man. I love encouraging people that direction. And I mean, I think some people can find it a little challenging, but ultimately it seems like such a more economical way too, especially for folks starting out and they're not even sure if they're going to like the craft. And it's like, well, let me give you this one needle and you'll be able to do your whole hat with it or whatever. And you won't have to get double points, and it doesn't take long really usually to get people on board with it. So good for you.
When you're doing a sweater on magic loop, do you have trouble with laddering? I haven't done a lot with magic loop. I remember doing a pair of socks.
Yeah, me too.
And I had terrible laddering. Granted, this was one of the first things definitely my first pair of socks. And I was just like, I have all this laddering. Is there a trick to that, or I just need to practice more?
Well,
practice
yeah, go
more.
ahead. Yeah, practice more for
practice
sure.
more.
Does it have to do with tension? So when you're changing where it, because I tried it too, and I went back to double pointed needles. So where you pull the string a little tighter or the yarn a little tighter as you're changing, I don't know.
I've read on the second stitch to do that might help.
But the other thing too is you can move the location of where your loop comes out. So like, for example, if I was doing magic loop on my body right now, right now I'm here, and if I kept it here, I might be inclined to get a ladder because it's always going to have that little bit of a pull for here. But you can go forth and make that loop pop out wherever the heck you want it to. And so I could move it on the next round, over a couple inches, let's say.
Oh, so you stagger it.
So you could stagger it. And that's definitely a technique that I've read and used to help minimize that. Does anybody have any other tips for avoiding the ladders?
No, I just recently saw the same technique.
Just to move.
It's a new magic loop.
Do you also use the magic loop?
Me? Yes.
Yes. You do?
I've used the magic loop making hats and mittens and socks, but when I use double pointed needles, I would get the laddering. I don't get that with the magic loop. I find it much easier. I'll never go back to double pointed needles now that I know the magic loop. It's just much easier for me.
Yeah.
Well, good.
I also make sure that I'm always starting my first stitch on the next needle as a knit stitch and not a purl stitch. Happens a lot with ribbings when you're doing magic loop, but that purl stitch tends to end up causing a ladder because it's a little looser when you wrap around.
Oh, good advice. Another good trick. Write that one down.
Also,
sure
just for my brain. Oh, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
So make sure the first stitch is a knit stitch. Okay.
Yeah, like if you're doing a border, you know, the knit one, purl one, make sure it's a knit instead of a purl.
Also, just I was about to say for my brain, I'm so ingrained with the knit one, purl one that if I were to start with the purl on the second stitch, more than likely I'll just sally forth and knit it because it feels like after I've made that switch, I'm gonna ready to knit. And so I just know that I have to, that's another reason for my brain and memory.
Iris, I wanted to thank you for the notes or the link to how to use the cord. What do you call it? I can't even the barber cord. Because the first sleeve that I put on my barber cord, I used my darning needle and kind of like pulled it through that way. And then I saw the video and I was like, oh, I didn't even realize there was a little hole there. And and I had to show my husband because I thought it was so clever. Anyway, thank you for
clever
tutorial.
Oh, and
actually, I think it's Kristen, but
yes. Yep. And also your shift is beautiful. I love your shift.
Oh, I just wanted to say it's gorgeous.
I know.
Beautiful.
I loved making it, that's for sure.
Stunning work. Yeah, I mean those darn barber cords, I just like they're the tool that we didn't know we needed until now we love them. Couldn't live without them.
And you've branched out now too and have full rolls of it, don't you? So you can make customized sizes?
Yep. Some people actually like to buy just pretty short amounts because you know, they'll actually take a little bit of the cord and put one on one needle and one, you know, if you imagine you had a little like 1 inch or so, you can use it as a stitch stopper as well. So jam one and one. And some people like to, so we have it by the foot, and it's nice too because then you can just add another color to your bin. And I mean, when we started making our little packs with you know, we would pre-cut some, and one of the first smart ideas that somebody had was, how about we don't make them all the same color? How about we make the body one different color so that you're not always pulling out the wrong dang one? And so that felt like a big big innovation. Oh, anybody else want to give us a little update on the Dog Star progress? Yeah, Mary Stewart, how are you? Oh, I lost. Oh, there you go. You're muted though.
Yeah, I keep.
Oh, there you are.
So I, you know, as I said, I sort of did this provisional cast on, but I'm about 7 rows. This is the 7th color row in to this. So I'm pretty happy with it. You know,
gorgeous.
I like bold. So
I love it.
This is that. So it's feeling like,
oh, that's pretty.
You know, kind of like a flower garden to me.
Yeah, gorgeous.
So yeah.
I would never have thought of that. What a clever idea.
I am interested in that you have the barber cord by the length, right, to buy, because I had used my long one on my body and I snapped it while I was taking it off. So just being able to order a piece or come in and get a piece that's longer will be great.
Yeah, totally. Well, it looks gorgeous, and I love thinking about you working on your Dog Star garden sweater in the middle of this cold snap. And speaking of garden sweaters, how about we hear from Jennifer? Can you give us because you're knitting yourself a little garden Dog Star as well?
Yeah, and I had both of mine.
Ooh,
because I have a background. It's a picture of my living room, but doesn't look like that now. I have been using Magic Loop. Oops, there we go. And I was doing one at a time, but I was worried as the sleeve got wider that I didn't want to have ladders and all, and it's easier to do one at a time with Magic Loop. So that's what I did. But yeah, I'm loving this yarn.
Pretty colors together too.
Yeah, and this is the cottage decay.
What is the cottage decay?
On the Round. It's the indie dyer in is she in Rockport or Rockland? I never remember, but
Rockland.
I love the colors.
And this yarn feels, I wish you could reach your hand right through the screen and squish that cottage decay, because it sure does feel amazing.
Yeah, I had like an allergic reaction to the yarn that I started with. Nothing wrong with the yarn, it's me. So I was actually kind of happy that I got to switch to the On the Round, because I've always loved this yarn.
And it doesn't bother you?
No, it doesn't bother me at all. The wool doesn't bother me. It's some of the chemicals that they use when they process yarns that can bother me.
Yeah. I just love your colors, Jennifer, and for everybody.
Thanks.
I snuck a little picture of your sleeve into the email for Friday, Jennifer, so you'll get a nice close-up of the way that Jennifer has placed her colors.
Yeah, I like color work, so I had fun picking out more than one.
Well, what's really fun is seeing so many people experiencing color work for the first time and kind of falling in love with it. And I mean, or for those of us that it's been a while since we've knit color work and falling in love again with it. It's just nice to see the enthusiasm. And speaking of color work, I will also plug that this Sunday is the Fiberside Chat with Jamie Lomax. She's the mind behind Pacific Knit Co. She those doodle decks that you may have seen in our emails, and she's got a doodle design directory. That's a book, but essentially she's a big name in sort of modern day color work. She's really made a lot of folks excited about it, and so in the Friday email, there will be a little link, because that will be Sunday. And with the Fiberside Chats, it's really great. It's a live Zoom that is hosted by Longmont Yarn Shop in Colorado. And they started this thing in the pandemic, and it's still going strong. And so it's an hour that you get to it's like my favorite kind of, it's like better than the movies, I think, because bunch of knitters, designers we enjoy or have read about or seen, and you get to like hear them talk and sort of present about their process, talk about upcoming designs or whatever. And then you'll have a link to the participants, get a link to the recording that's good for like 1 week after. So if you can't make it live, you can catch it later. And I'm pretty excited about that one, but I won't get to attend live because I'll be at the shop doing our in the shop meetup. But yeah, it's super fun.
So is the registration free, or is it, do you have to do?
So it's $20. And I think they started it in the pandemic as kind of a way to like kind of keep knitters connected to the community, but also thinking about designers who were suddenly not being able to go to shows and all that kind of thing, and festivals. So yeah, it's $20.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I can do show and tell, Iris.
Show and tell. Good, Karen. Nice to see you. Let me get you spotlit. Oh my gosh.
So this is 1 to 2 years. And as you can see, just starting on the first row of the color work, this is yarn, stash yarn, Mary Maxim, actually. And my two colors are like a teal and then an ecru.
Oh, that's gonna be pretty.
Nice. So
really, really pretty.
Great
choice.
Done a lot of color work, and Mary Stewart and I are friends. We're in the same knitting group in Yarmouth. So, and she's really good at color choices, as you can easily tell by her beautiful sweater. So we discussed, and I think it's going to be good. We'll see.
I love knowing that you guys are friends in real life. I don't think I knew that until just now.
Yes, we are.
Well, I was just thinking 5 minutes ago when she was showing us her colors, wow, you ought to help each of us pick our colors. And look at there, she's helping you.
We have a good time. We have a group that gets together on Tuesday nights every week, and we have a really good time. It's kind of a wild assortment of personalities.
Yeah, it can get a little raucous at times, but in a really fun way.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
and
that's
some of
awesome.
us have been meeting in Yarmouth for, gosh, it's got to be 15 years.
Oh, wow.
A long time.
Karen's been in there longer than I have. I had to wait till I wasn't traveling for work to join. And but it's really fun. And we all have lots of comments and advice, and you know, and the worst thing is that everybody brings what yarn they don't want anymore.
Oh,
and we all go home with way too many things.
Way too much yarn. Yep.
So, and Karen's one of the people I know. I had talked during Socktober and the sessions we did in November and December. Karen's one of the knitters that contributed to our church fair event.
Nice.
She does a lot of charity knitting, which is really fun. And we all have a good time picking out what's next to do. So
we do. We have a good time.
Yeah. So if you're ever in the Yarmouth area, Yarmouth, Maine, look us up. We welcome
lots of fun. We might be a little scary to start, but yeah.
Some people have known each other like a really long time. Like one of the women in the group was my childcare provider for my kids.
Oh, wow.
And they're 30, you know, so we've known people a long time. It's a small town.
I love it. Love it. Well, thanks for the updates. Anybody else want to weigh in here?
You know what I love is that everybody's colors are different. You know, everybody has something different that they put together. It just shows how many possibilities are out there. I think that's great.
I also think it's great because, and that's one of the, I guess, way back when I first joined Ravelry, I was really, the part that I love the most and that I still really appreciate is the ability to, you know, you see a pattern, you think it looks great, but, you know, we all have our sort of comfort zones with color. We all have our defaults. And it was just such a sort of, just the experience of being able to dip into all of the projects and really cue into the colors. If there were, you know, just, oh, wow, look at it in this color. Oh, I was going to do gray, but wow, I can see that it looks great in a bright color. And I think that is just can't be underestimated. And especially like, well, with this, we have the knit along, but you know, when you're just like, oh, I think I'd like to make this, but then it's just fun to shake yourself out and start to imagine more possibilities. And you can't really do that from inside your own brain, right? It's just nice to see other people's thinking around color and modifications. Yeah, I love it. Love that too.
I can show y'all my color.
Well, yeah.
I was gonna cast on, as I told Iris via email, but I didn't because Snowmageddon happened here and I got distracted. Very, very distracted, and I haven't done it, haven't wound it or anything. But this is gonna be the main color, and then I'm gonna
oh, pretty
contrasting.
Nice.
So, I mean, I thought about, you know, this off-white color. I'm like, I hope that's not a recipe for disaster, like stains or whatever. But I don't have a sweater this color. So hopefully it's gonna work out for me.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Love those.
I don't know what happened with the the post office around here is crazy, y'all. And like Iris said, and then I had called the shop, I was like, oh my God, I'm so nervous. I don't know. Like, where's my yarn? Is it like stuck somewhere? And I couldn't file a claim. So, you know, I spoke with you, then I called the shop, and then I think it showed up on Friday, maybe.
You know what was very interesting is there were actually, and it wasn't related to the Dog Star, but there was another customer that also was experiencing a delay, a surprising delay. And when I was talking with Kristen and Miranda about your situation, and Kristen was like, yeah, there was another person, I wonder. And so we looked it up, and both of those orders were left our building on a particular date. So I don't know if there was like a slowdown somewhere in the pipeline, you know, but we could look back in our system and see, hey, these both went out on this date. So who knows? Did a truck break down, you know, between
Maybe
Camden
so.
and Portland or something? I don't know, but
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. It's so hard to
Oh,
wait.
no worries. I'm just grateful it came, you know, and y'all, I mean, y'all were super helpful. I'm like, it's probably sitting in the New Orleans Maine post office, because we really do, things get a little slow around here for whatever reason. But I was just glad it wasn't lost somewhere.
Well, I had to step away for a second and I didn't see your yarn. What is it?
I can show you. Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, so this will be the main color.
That Kathmandu?
It is.
Oh boy, you're gonna love it.
Good.
I made a sweater out of that, didn't I, Iris? That color. It's beautiful.
I feel like I made something with Kathmandu before. Maybe
do you think it was your Ramona? Did you use the Ramona for did you make the Ramona in Kathmandu, Erin?
Me?
Yeah.
No, actually I made the Ramona, but I hadn't
that's right. It wasn't with
Kelly had done it, I think, with you guys, maybe.
Yeah.
So I had used my local, I think it might have been Blue Sky Fibers, and actually, y'all, for this cold snap, I can wear the things that I knit.
There you go. There you go.
So there's that. But I feel like maybe I did the Skudik,
yeah,
the Kathmandu, Skudik, or maybe the oh, what was the other one we did? I'm trying.
The Sea Haven.
The Sea Haven, yes.
Could be that.
It could have been that.
Yeah, because both are DK. So, yeah.
But yeah, I've got my yarn.
beautiful
I just got to get to it. I'm still working on this crazy pressed flowers thing in the meantime. It's been a little tricky for me. I've had to figure some things out by myself. Oh, that's been fun. Not really.
Do you have the pressed flowers there?
I do. I'm doing the cardigan, and so I'm working on the back. Like, this is it right here. So I'm working on the back, and I just feel like there was a part in her directions that just, it wasn't making sense to me. It like skipped to the plain stitch, and I was like, if I start doing plain stitch now, half the back is not gonna have, you know, the body chart motif. And it just didn't make sense to me. So I thought about it, then I looked some things up on Ravelry, and fortunately, one of the people speaking to Ravelry and how helpful that can be, her project, like in her project notes, she had photographed every single step. So I was able to see,
oh, nice.
I got to continue with the body chart pattern here.
Great to know. Thank you. That's in my stash.
Oh, is it?
To become a project in the future, yes. And I purchased on the round yarn for that.
Okay.
So it will happen at some point in time.
Yeah. And I think I'm gonna love it once it's finished. I'm the person who needs the hand holding. I'm just gonna own it. You know, I haven't been knitting all my life. I'm relatively new to it. So I think this pattern maybe makes some assumptions, you know, some knowledge assumptions that, you know, kind of stump me, but I've been able to work through it.
That's called.
I think I've been able. Well, we'll see when it's finished.
It's beautiful.
Beautiful.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank you.
Gorgeous.
Thank you. So now up here.
Anybody else want to give us the updates?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Are there others that are taught themselves how to do the continental just for this color working sweater? And how are you doing with it? Or does everybody know how to do it already?
I've been learning. I've always done English my whole life, but this sweater and just starting out with doing the continental, I find that I can knit fine. If I have to do purl, that's another story. I have arthritis in my one finger here, so it doesn't bend, but I found a Norwegian purl, and it's got a little bit more twist to it, but it's much easier for me to do.
Nice.
But it's coming along. I can knit faster than English, doing the English way.
Wow, great.
Do you find when you go to pick up the knitting though that you automatically want to start throwing, and then you're like, oh no, I gotta switch my hand here?
I do that, but what I find is the more I do it English, my shoulder blade hurts. So I switch over because it's just not comfortable anymore. So now I do I'm doing knitting continental, and it's much easier on my body.
What do you do when you come up to those specialty stitches other than knits and purls, like when you increase and decrease?
YouTube is a big help.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Because you have to learn all the stitches all over again. They're all
because they do it differently. But what I've been knitting lately hasn't really I haven't gotten really difficult stitches yet. So but it's coming along, and my goal right now is everything I knit, I learn something new. Last year I did a top-down sweater. I had always done my sweaters in 2 fronts, a back, and 2 sleeves. I've never done either the bottom up all together or a top down. So like I said, every new pattern's got to have something new to teach me. That's my goal now.
I love that I love that as your goal, that everything you knit now is gonna have a teaching moment in it for you. That's awesome.
Yeah, Iris, you guys had showcased some workbook that I was catching up on podcasts or something, and I was like, "Ooh, that sounds like a good thing to get, and that would be kind of fun." So, Dayle, maybe you might want to look at that because it was really a way to learn,
Oh, hold on, just 1 minute. Let me lift up my computer because it's being raised up by the workbook.
Knitting bag of tricks. I'll have to order it.
Yeah. It's cool because it truly is a workbook, in that like you're really being walked right through some real reflection about technique, starting with some pretty basic things that we've all done, like let's say garter stitch and stockinette stitch. And I was really hoping that maybe we could do kind of a knit along, but like workbook along, but I'm just not sure that's in the cards for this year. But I'm excited. I haven't delved into it in all transparency, but I really like the layout, and it's nice, like heavier paper too. And so it could be, oh, Gwen, you've got yours. Let me hold it up there. Let's spotlight you. Nice. Yes. And it, like, I think she encourages you, if you want to print little pictures of what you've made too, to include, and it has that nice spiral binding. So I think it could accommodate that pretty nicely. Who else might like to share that we haven't heard from? Or we can just hang out and knit.
I can share a funny goof I did.
Okay, funny goofs are good.
Yeah. And I actually have found that I do this quite a bit. I get so cocky in my knitting that I mess up. I'm working on the lotus flower beanie.
Oh, nice. Yes.
Right. So it has this interesting star stitch to it.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to knit 3 together, and then you make the 3 by putting, so you knit that, but you don't take it off. You do a yarn over and you knit back through the stitch. So you're taking your 3 stitches and you're making 3 other stitches. That right the first round. Then I'm working around and around, and I start up on my next round. Well, I made 3 stitches in 1 stitch instead of knitting the 3 together first. And I did that like this much. I ended up with so many stitches on my needles. I pulled them on my needle and I'm going, how is this going to resolve itself? Like, how it doesn't make any sense. But I was telling Gwen about it today. I was like, and so I keep knitting. I don't know why. I knew it wasn't working, but I figured, oh, it'll resolve itself. Yeah, okay. And then I went, wait a minute, this is crazy. Because then I couldn't fit it on my 16-inch circulars anymore.
Oh no.
Hey, so it gets better. I go, oh, I'll just get my double points. And I added my double points to it. So I didn't have a big mess. And that's when I was like, wait a minute. So then I went to Ravelry and I'm looking at, how they're doing it. And I went to their videos and I'm looking at I'm like, oh my God, how dumb.
Oh.
And I managed to get the second round of the star flower part done. And I'm back on track.
I'm just picturing what it must look like. I mean, that is hilarious. Like it must have been kind of a mushroom kind of a
and there was a lot of stitches on there before I was like
well, I think it also, we all can get there. And I heard, I don't know if you all know Stephanie Pearl McPhee. She's, the yarn harlot. She wrote she's hilarious. And she has multiple books out there, but she had the funniest story about, I want to say it was maybe the Alpine Flowers sweater. And she had a similar thing where she was just feeling cocky and blazing trails and just like, well, this seems like a lot of stitches, but it's for an adult. And she said eventually, and she just kept convincing herself like, well, it's all gonna be great when I split off the sleeves and whatever. And then she said she ended up with something that she could have jump roped with, and it just was like, she was like, why didn't I stop? I kind of knew it wasn't right for a long time, and I kept making myself believe it was right.
Too funny.
So funny. Yeah. Judy, did I see that you were looking like you wanted to weigh in here?
I'm hoping by next Wednesday I will have my yarn for the Dog Star. I finally reordered little different colors.
Okay, so did you, we could maybe talk a little bit after the Zoom about this. Okay. I had left you a phone message yesterday. Did you get that phone message?
No, I didn't. I get so much spam. I just,
Okay, well, let's stay on.
If it isn't a number that I know, I don't even pay attention to it.
Okay, well, we'll stay on maybe if you have a little minute after we quit the Zoom so that we can catch up, because there were a couple questions I had for you.
Okay.
But yeah, great. I will hope so too.
And I also found the orange in another location because I really wanted the orange in there.
Yeah, okay.
So I don't have to mix, and I wanted it all the same yarn, so.
Gotcha.
I'm looking forward to getting started. Hopefully by then I'll be done with the sweater. My rebirth of the carpet.
Great.
Rebirth of the carpet.
What I made my carpet, and it really came out very nice, but it was pretty heavy for me to wear as a pullover.
Okay.
I made the basic one. So a couple weeks ago, I looked at it and I said, it's going to become a cardigan.
Oh. Okay.
So I'm almost finished with it. And so, you have to undo all the yarn, and then you have to wash it to get it straightened out.
You totally frogged it and started over?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, my
wow.
goodness. Oh my goodness. I thought you were going to tell me you had to steek it down the front or something.
No.
Really
I
wild.
decided just to make a different sweater. And it's a petite knit. I'm sure you're familiar with it. They're basic cardigan. And so far so good. I've been wanting to try a couple of their actually I bought a couple of their other patterns, and they're really intimidating because they're so long. But I thought I was going to find the basic one and then work this cardigan. And the reason they're so long is they're really thorough, and it's really pretty hard to make a mistake. I'm very impressed. So I've got yarn for 2 other sweaters from Petite Knit, and I'm hoping maybe this summer, if I'm still not working on the Dog Star, that I'll be able to work on one of those other 2 sweaters.
Awesome.
Anyhow.
So are you using the Carbeth pattern?
No, it's Petite Knit
pattern.
Called their novice sweater.
Same yarn for the one that you did.
And it's a top down.
Yeah.
It's really, I'm happy with this. I'm hoping it comes out, and I actually already have buttons that I had from another project that I changed my mind. That'll be perfect on it.
Nice.
So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's, you never know until you block it.
That's for sure.
And so, and I've been trying it on with my barber cords, which when I'm in the neighborhood, I'm going to stop by and pick up some more. I should have ordered when I ordered the yarn.
So are you up in Maine now, or are you still in Tennessee?
I'm still in Tennessee. I'm planning, I've been moving to Boston. If all goes well, I just had a lot of things go wrong. And I hope to be there next fall.
When?
I hope to be there next fall.
Nice.
Okay. And I was up there about a month ago, and just kind of looking around what area I wanted to live in. And because what I had in mind when I got there, I realized that probably wasn't a good choice. And so it's just a little bit farther out, but it's still within the T. So I can use, I want to be able to, I'm a city person. I like being able to use public transportation and walk everywhere. Okay. And in Tennessee, that's the Nashville.
Hard.
So there's a very limited area that you could do that. So I'm really looking forward to it. And I even enjoyed the cold weather.
And it's cold for sure.
Yes, it's
Definitely.
in Nashville, it's been around 5 degrees.
Yeah.
That's wild for you guys down there.
Not for Nashville, it's not. Because we always get a really cold snap after Christmas, after the first of the year. But we didn't get any snow. Or a few dry, there was nothing there. So we were just a little north of that, which was good.
Now, isn't that weird? You were too far north to get the snow.
Yeah. But look at Texas.
Yeah.
New Orleans.
Houston. Goodness.
Yeah.
All the way south Texas.
Yeah. They actually, we have a local weather company that gives us our weather here in the Hudson Valley. They're really good because we have a lot of different microclimates here.
Yeah.
But they were really fascinated because they're weather geeks about what was going on down there. And they're like, it's actually snowing in the Gulf.
All the beaches are covered with snow. Snow angels on the beach.
Snow on the beach.
Wow.
South, in the South. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It is crazy.
Whereas I'm just as far north as you are in Maine, but I have not seen snow this year.
Wow.
or last.
Wow.
You're right on the other coast though, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And how often do you get snow during the winter season? Is it a common occurrence or?
Oh, we usually see a few flakes 2 or 3 times.
Okay.
7 years ago, we had a snowmageddon that went on for about 2 weeks of snow and ice. And of course, that was when my husband had 2 heart incidents.
Oh, no.
Oh dear.
Wow.
So, I don't care if I never see snow here again. Where are you at again? Just east of Seattle.
Okay.
Now, go 25 miles east and up into the mountains, and they've got plenty of snow.
Sure. Sure.
But we're down, it's not really a coastal plain, but we're near Puget Sound.
Interesting.
But it's beautiful there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we are at the top of the hour, amazingly, again. It is so awesome to have all of you here. I think this has been like a bigger, generally like stayed a bigger group so far, which is really fun for our Zoom. Sometimes, you know, numbers dwindle, peter off, and they still might, but it's just lovely. And always such a lot of wisdom in the room here, and really appreciate everybody sharing their progress, their tips, having questions. It just makes it so much fun for all of us. And I think we all end up learning something, right? Like Dayle was saying, we're all learning something along this journey. So we'll be here next week with Alexa from Tin Can Knits, and so that'll be super fun. So be thinking about questions, and you can send them in advance or you can pop them in the chat next week. Either way will work, and looking forward to it. So I will be staying on with Judy to chat about yarn, but anybody else wants to like hang out for another couple of minutes. But otherwise, have a great night, you guys.
You
too.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Next
Night.
week.
Bye.
Bye.
All right.